Hello.
Hello. Hey, hi, Nitin.
Yeah. Hi, Nitin.
Hey, Nitin, can you use earphones or something? Like, I'm getting my own echo back.
Okay, okay. I'm using now. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, now I don't hear it anymore.
Great.
So we'll start in 2 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Like, can you give Nitin, can you give an introduction to us to all? Yeah.
Sure. Just give me some time.
Mhm.
Okay, great. So, hello, I'm Ninad, and I am working at APNA for and I have total experience of about 5.5 years now in Android, and yeah, so I think that's about it. Nitin, will you introduce
Yeah.
yourself?
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Man. Thanks, Nitin. Thanks. So, like, I'm Nitin Prakash. I'm working with BYJU'S. So, I have experience about 3.5 year in Android only. So like here we are like so like Coderlin is a community so where you can like learn new things and like question about any problem that you are facing in your Android development process. So that's why we create that community. So you can join that community by given a link in the description also. And today like we today know Nina is going to like share some like in and outs about constant layout. So basically like the new thing is Jetpack Compose is comes in the world, but it's still like suppose like 90% of Android development is going on with the XMLs right now, right, Nina?
Yes, correct. And
Yeah,
most of the people get it wrong. So I understand that constraint is a very old topic, but
yeah.
they don't build the UIs properly. So that was my intention of taking a seminar on just this.
That's good. That's good. Like we can start like we have like 6 people here, so we can start.
Okay, awesome.
Great.
Okay, so I have nothing right now. Like this is bare bones project. Like we do not have anything, so we'll just add as we go along. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so there are a few things which constraint offers which others don't offer. Like you won't see them in linear layout or any frame layout or anything till now. So one of the examples is, let's say you're taking image view. Okay. So this image view you can like whatever. No need to worry about this. Yeah. So there is this thing where you can if you say 0 dp, and yeah, I'll just switch to code mode, and I'll say scale type as center crop. Right? So this looks very weird, right? So we don't want to compromise on the height part, but we also don't want to, like, we want to take the entire width here, and we want it to have um, an aspect ratio of, let's say, 16 to 9, right? So we can just do something like this, where we can say 16 9. Right. I'll just set it one on one now. Okay, so this is all. Yeah, that's fine. 16 9. Okay, so as you can see, like it is taking the like it will always maintain the ratio. Like even if I add margin here, like whatever 16 dp, let's say, like the aspect ratio won't change. Yeah. So this is a very cool feature. Like it the height to width ratio is completely dependent on um, how much width is available to you, or how much height is available to you. Like you can have reverse also. Like you can um, yeah. So you can have the reverse also. Like in this case, width is your dominating factor, but it can also happen that your height is your dominating factor. So in that way, like it will adjust according to the dimensions, right? um, then you have this other layout. We can set up layouts with reference to, like I'll just, yeah, I'll just remove, yeah, anyway, like I'll move to the code. And here I can say top to bottom of. So if I want something with reference to something, like I'll just say that put this top to the bottom of something or whatever. Like if we want this to we want the bottom to be to the bottom of image view, then we set this accordingly. So then in that case it will come as we want it to come. And yeah, so this is one of the important factors. Like if you want something on top of something, you write it later in the XML. So we can see that hello world is now on top of our image, right? uh yeah, I'll just move it to yeah, I'll just move it to the bottom. And yeah, so yeah, it can also happen that like one of the constraints, one of the designs I'll show. Let's go to layout validation. Yeah, so we can see in pixel C this is a problem. Like pixel C, it is a problem. So let's say I I don't care about this particular constraint dimension ratio now. Let's say, like for example, I just want it to be 40% of your height, right? So in that case, I'll say just height percent. I'll just say zero point 0.4. In this case, whatever your screen is, it will just take 0.4% of it. So even this is particularly specific to constraint. Um, yeah. So yeah, either way, like if we go to this again, we are seeing that it is always taking 40% of whatever height is available. Uh, Now let's go to the design mode again. Um, yeah. So now let's say I want to add three layouts um, next to each other, right? So I'll just create text views, three text views. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just mark it with reference to each other. I'll say 24. So yeah, the UI development via the design view is also very smooth and cool. Like it didn't used to be so smooth earlier, but now it is pretty stable now. Um, yeah, you just set all this, and you just select all this, and you just say that wait, this view is not, yeah. So this is how you set, and you just select these three, and you just say um yeah, you say something like this, like back horizontally, or you can say um center horizontally. So this will be in reference to each other, and it will get you all this. Like it will like if you want to see the code for this, we are setting these three text views with reference to one another. Like we have end to start of this one, and we have start to start of parent. This one is end to start of this text view 3, and start to start of this text view 2. Okay, so this is one particular phenomenon which is also specific to constraint. Like I can uh, set the bias here. Wait, I'll tell you what it means. So let's move to design again. I have one more text view, which I'm putting in between all this. This is below this, yeah, and I'll just say 8. Right. So what is happening here is that it is centered exactly in between. So if we want, we can give it a inclination. Like you should like it should be 18% to the left of the screen, or 10 or whatever you can. Why in figure, like if you have to set this value, you can just go here, point 1, set point 1, whatever you want. Like this is horizontal bias. You also have vertical bias. It's yeah, I mean that's how it is. um yeah, now there is also something called weights in this one, right? So I'll show you the similar example which I used. um like I centered all these three views, using just putting it just next to each other and keeping the bias as point 0.5, right? And it is taking wrap content here. So I can also do something like um, yeah. So this is my text view, and I'll just say 0 dp. I'll say constraint weight, horizontal weight as 1. Same here. I'll set 0 dp. Okay, all right. Not this one. This one. So as you can see now, like all of these three are um, taking their full width right now. So this could also have been done with the previous setup, but now let's say I want to make this particular text view as prominent. Like I can just set it to 2 here, which I couldn't have done in the previous setup, right? So yeah, this is the one. And there is also something called barriers. I'll just get to it. Say I have two more text views. Okay, and this I'll just set the bottom of this to the bottom of this. I'll say this one to be 16. Yeah, this one to the left of this. The text I'll change later on, but you could say that you want some barriers here. So you'll just say, I'll explain what a barrier is with an example. So here what you say is that let's say these are the two text views. I want these two text views to be added to the barrier. I'll yeah, I'll come to it what it means, right? So going to this barrier we look at, we just set it to barrier end. So what it will mean is our barrier is somewhere on the end of these two. So the results are not apparent now, like they're not clear now. But let's say I want to do something like this, right? So these texts can be anything. Now I'll just set a text view with reference to this right of barrier. and I'll say text to be hello world or barrier, barrier after barrier, whatever. Text after barrier. Okay. And this is something I'll just add to the same level as this. So yeah. So what is happening here is that if we put anything with reference to, like, if we had set this dimension or whatever, like if we had put this view with reference to one particular view, this or this, then it would have been a problem. Like, what if this is a smaller view and or this is a smaller view? So that is what barrier is there for. Like, you can have multiple views here, and it will take care of it for you, right? So there is also something called um, wait, what is this? Okay, never mind. Okay, so I'll take there is something also called radial properties, which I'll just create one. I'll just take any icon here, right? I'll just say 16, 16, and I put an image view with respect to this. I'll call it um, I'll just say 20 dp or something, 20 by 20. Let's take 30, whatever, right? So if I go here, set, um, I can set radius to be 60 dp and circle with reference to this floating action button, right? So by default, it is taking as 0. So your radius, consider this to be a circle. So you have the radius and you have the degree. So you can organize it any way you want. Like, it goes clockwise. So this is your 0, this is your 90, this is your 180, this is your 270. Right. So I'll have this angle at, let's say, 5 degrees or 15 degrees, let's say. So it is going to adjust accordingly. So if I, let's say, have multiple views here, let's say diamond 2, 3. Okay. And I'll just say, let's say, third 15 I have already. So last one will be somewhere around 2 270 maybe. Yes, maybe. Or 260 or whatever. Right. So I put all of them with reference to this one. So 260, I'll take 290 here. I'll take 310 here, or 320. Anyway, so now we can see that it is with reference to, like, it is taking the it is taking the dimension with respect to, it is taking the radius and radius and the angle with respect to this particular view, right? um yeah, so there is also something called group. uh there is also something called group, which I'll create. Add helpers group. Okay, what this group will do is, like, I'll put all of these into this particular group. Okay, so what this will do is, if I want to, let's say, change the visibility of all of them at the same time, I'll just say visibility gone, or I'll say just visibility dot visible. I don't have to call each and every one of them to change the visibility of them, right? Okay. Um, there's also something called. What did I miss? Did I miss anything? Yeah. So now what I'll do is, I'll try to have all these four, and have it change to the have it change with respect to uh, when you click on this floating action button, like, something should happen to this. Like, what I'll do is make them gone and make them visible alternatively, right? So let's go ahead with the code. Okay, I'll just say list of. This is just to simplify things. You won't actually do this. Diamond 1, diamond 2. Okay, so these are your diamonds, let's say. Okay, so you have floating action button as well. So I'll take floating action button, set on click. What I'll do is ab dot tag boolean if done. Okay. So what I'm checking here is, I'm if my tag is null or whatever, like if it is not boolean, then I'll just return. I'll just mention why I'm doing this. So there it is going to be it is going to have this floating action button is going to have an alternate state. Okay. So I'll just say that this is in closed state right now, or this is in open state right now, right? So say b tag as boolean, I'll set is open. I'll take some diamonds as well. So this is my radius when it's in open state. I'll take 60 into 3, let's say, right? So your pixel density is 3 for this phone. So ideally, you would not do this. You would have an DP to pixel conversion, but for the simplicity, I'll just take it to be 3, like this number to be 3, right? Okay. So in this case, I'll just say if is open. Uh, no, if it is open, then I'll take radius to be this. Um, yeah, I'll just say radius is to be this. Yeah, or I'll take radius. Right? So we want the state to be alternate, right? So if it is open, then we want to close it. So we want to make the radius as new radius to be this one. And what I'll do is I'll just say diamonds dot for each, or for I'll take the I'll take layout params as constraint. So I'll just say constraint dot layout params. Okay. Um, LP. I'll say LP dot radius, circle radius to be this new radius, and I'll set this layout params again. And our layout params is equal to LP. Right? Doing nothing here. Like I'm just changing the radius and setting the layout params again. And because my state is changed, I'll just say b dot tag equal to what is open. So I'll flip the state basically, right? So I'll just run this now. Let's see if it is working. Okay, so it is working, but it has a very jerky kind of action. Like it is just going out of nowhere. Like it is suddenly invisible, right? So to fix this, we can have something like transition manager dot and delete transition, and what it expects is a view group. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll set the root uh, ID to be root. I'll just yeah. So you just pass root to this, and let's run this again. So this is very cool. So this transition manager, it belongs to this transition manager. It will help you with these transitions. Like it will infer that we are going from 0 to this particular radius, let's say, right? So it is animating to our needs without explicitly mentioning uh, without mentioning the value animator and all that, right? This is another cool feature. Um, yeah, to just set this, what is this? I'll just say top to top of. And SRC, I'll just set it to be a cat image. Okay. So we have seen, yeah, this particular dimension got disturbed for some reason. Oh, it didn't. So this can be fixed via, um, let's say, and text alignment center. So most of the things can be done from here itself. No need to go into design, but I jump back and forth into that because as your layout gets complicated, it becomes difficult to manage. But when it is empty, like it is very easy to work with this. Other than that, yeah. Yeah, group I showed how to how it is, how it will work.
Nina, like, I have a question. Like, uh,
Yeah,
can you go to the main activity?
sure.
So this transition manager can work with other layout also, or it can be work
I am
only.
not sure, so I use this with use this with constraint, and it works beautifully. Like, I generally don't go use other layouts now.
So maybe like it will be a generic for, huh? Right?
Yeah, I think so, but I'm not sure. Like, I did not experiment with this one, but it works beautifully with constraint. That
So
much
it
I
just
will.
for like visibility gone, or like visible then views only.
Maybe, like, again, we'll have to try,
Okay,
but
fine.
it will infer a few things. Like, if I am, what I'm trying to do, let's say, is not change the radius. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
I just or I don't do any of this.
Mm-hmm.
I just do, let's say, gone. I have my group, right? Group dot gone,
It's for visibility.
visibility. It's open. So this is the only thing I'm doing. Let's say the group is it the right one? Let me just check. Yeah. So it will take care of these basic things for you. Like, let's say you're changing the dimension or something. With
Okay.
constraint, I found that it is working beautifully. Like, I did not try with other. See, it is
Okay.
it is smoothly transitioning it. Without this, it will be really bad. So it will just flicker.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So did I miss anything? Uh,
So, Leonard, have you tried with multiple fab item? Like someone
yeah.
is
So
asking.
this is one of the projects I have worked with. Like, in that, I didn't have multiple image view. I had multiple fabs in that. So this particular image, like this particular fab, will react to the main fab. Let's say. Was that your question?
Yeah, like for them. Right, right, right. Can you can
Yeah.
you
So
can
it will,
we can we do this here? Just
right
change the
now.
view to, yeah, yeah. We can
Sure.
try if it is like possible.
So it works, but there is some extra
Mm-hmm.
configuration needed. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
No,
it will
no
work.
issue. No issue.
Good.
Create that.
I think I'm missing something now. Wait, I covered.
There is one thing guideline also that we can discuss about that.
Yeah, right. So you can add guidelines also. Let's say I'm adding.
So, like, what is the main difference between barrier and guideline?
So guideline does not. Like, guideline is more ab- obsolete. Like, it is not with reference to something. Like, it is for someone else's reference. Like, I'll just show. So let's
Mm-hmm.
say I have helpers, right? And where is the guideline now? Yeah, you have guideline, and this is 20 dp. You can also have um, how do you set percent? I forgot. I think you have point 0.2. Oh, yeah, so you can set percentages here. Percent. Yeah, uh, height percent. height percent, you'll just say zero point 0.3, let's say, right? But generally, you would want it at somewhere in between, right? I'll just change it to blueprint. Where is my guideline? Five. Again, like you can set these guidelines at one particular thing. I'll have to check again what you have to exactly set here, but that's
Okay.
what guideline is. So what you'll do is, like, whichever your new group is, text view, let's say, to center it, using with reference to guideline, you'll just say top to bottom of this particular guideline, right? So
Okay.
and it will place it just below that guideline, or you can do it on top of it, whichever you want.
Like mean
I'll
like
just
similar, like, somewhat the barrier and like guideline are similar things.
kind of, but not exactly. Like, barrier is
Yeah.
with respect to other views.
Mm-hmm.
Guideline does not is not with respect to other views. Like, it is with respect to your percentage, or let's say you want to set it to guideline. Where is it? Yeah,
But the actual, but the end result will be the same for both maybe.
kind of. It is more dynamic. Like, this one, barrier is
Hmm.
more dynamic. Like, your text can change anyway, right? Like, I can set
Hmm.
these text anyway, and then it will change
Okay.
accordingly. But guideline won't change. It
Okay.
is very static in nature.
Okay. Mean this is like this constant layout is still useful, like that we are going to use the constant in our like production
Yes. So
apps,
let's
right?
say I want to keep it at 100 dB only, right? So
Hmm.
I'll just put anything at with reference to this. Like, let's say I want to put a close button here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I want the close button to be here somewhere, whatever. Or
Okay.
yeah, so it will work accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have guide percentage. That is the one. Layout
Okay.
constraint guideline percent. So this is the right one. Point two. I can set it point 0.5, point 0.4, whatever. Does not matter.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Is there anything else? Yeah. So yeah, one of the common problems I see while UI designing, which I see in the like layout XML files, is that, let's say you want to do some complicated form based design. Okay. So you have, let's say, key value or something, like label. You have label, you have value, you have label, you have value, or and then you have image, right? Something like that. So and you have a background, let's say, right? So for that, people go with frame layout or something, or they'll insert one more constraint layout here, or linear, whatever works. So usually I see nested constraints. Like, that is something you should try to avoid. Whatever you want, it can be done in constraint layout only. Like, for example, they'll just say background um, to be purple, let's say, right? And I'll just insert one view here, image view, app content. Right? So and this they'll put top to bottom of something, like, let's say I have this new guideline. Okay, so I'll put to the bottom of this, left to left of pen, and top to top, or whatever. So this is a go-to approach, which is not needed. Like, there can be other views here also. Like, you have, let's say, text view or image view or whatever. Like, does not matter. This is one particular form which needed the background, right? So this can be done by or it can be bordered, or it can have those rounded borders or anything. You do not need to do this. I'll just show how you can achieve this without the nested constraint layout. Okay? So you have this particular image view, and I want a purple background to this entire row, right? So what I'll do is I'll just put to the constraint top to bottom of, yeah, top to bottom of. I'll just say guideline, right? And I'll remove this. I'll just have a view 0 dp here, and I'll just say 0 dp. I'll set this background to be purple, and I'll say top to top of. Okay. So I'll just say top to top of jewelry, and bottom of jewelry. I have left to left of parent, right to right of parent. Right. So we have this view, and to show the previous view, I'll just move this up, and it will work. Like that's how you do it. So most of the times, what you see is that like this is not enough. Like you want padding also to this. Like padding for padding, adding padding like cannot be done with this particular view. So for that, what you do is you have something called space, which has, let's say, 10 dp, or it will be app content. It will be 10 dp. Let's say. So space you have. So you put this one with reference to bottom to bottom. Okay, yeah. So this one you'll put top to bottom of. So there can be other things here as well. So if you just try to do padding bottom or margin bottom or whatever you do, let's say I do 20 dp, it will not work. It will not work. So that's why you need space here. So whatever constraints you put with reference to something, if you're putting it bottom, then it will not work. So for that you have to do something. You have to add this particular space. Um, so yeah, this is one of the problems, you can say, or with constraint layout. Like, there are multiple problems I have faced during my years. Like I've been working on constraint layout for a while now, and I know I have come across a few problems with constraint layout as well. So you have to be very careful with how you're using it, and do you have the um, so you have to take care of it. Like you can go wrong and you might have to um, scrape a few things and do it the conventional way, not using constraint layout, let's say. You have to be cognizant of that. So margin top will work here. Like let's say I do 10 dp, right? So yeah, like even for that, like you have to, even for that, you'll have to add a space, let's say, which you have top bottom to top of top to top of same thing. uh so this is one of the things, while building forms you can use something like this. Like it does not need to be nested at all. Yeah, I think that's about it. Any questions?
You can check the comments.
Do you see any questions?
I'm seeing like someone asking like guidelines belong to Ravi. Like, can you pose your question fully so we can understand like what you are trying to ask? Maybe. So Partha is asking, do we have to use layout width and layout height as 0 dp when using the following attribute constant dimension ratio?
Yes, absolutely. So, Nick, yeah, either you can fix the, let's say, like I am using image view here, but what I want to do is I want to stretch it to parent, right? So I can do match parent also, like it will work. Like whichever dimension you want to be flexible, you'll set it as 0 dp. Like, I cannot set wrap content now; it will not work. I have to the other dimension. I'll have to set 0 dp.
Okay.
Here generally what I do is like if my width or height is with reference to like let's say I'm doing start to start off and end to end of, right, end to end of parent. So I generally, like, it's a good practice to set it to 0 dp, let the constraint layout draw it for you, don't have to mention match parent.
Or I have one question. Any any performance wise like benefit while using constant layout?
Yeah, so usually, like if you, let's say, use linear layout or frame layout to build the same UI, right?
Hmm.
It will be nested in general. Like you shouldn't use constraint layout every time. If you can do something with frame layout without the nested hierarchy, you should go
Hmm.
with frame layout. You should not like if some task can be done with frame layout, don't use constraint layout unnecessarily, because it like for simpler layouts it will have the performance overhead, but for complicated layouts like this, where like constraint, any one particular layout wouldn't have sufficed, like either linear or relative or frame. If I had
Hmm.
used any of them, it wouldn't have worked. This particular
Okay.
view wouldn't have been drawn. So, and using constraint layout, you have this flat hierarchy. So
Hmm.
yeah, in this case, you'll get the performance benefits. But if you, let's say, have only one text view, one image view, in that
Hmm.
case you don't need to use constraint layout. Like it will work against you then in that case. So you have to make sure what you're using it for.
Okay. Great. Great.
Great. Any other questions from the
Uh,
comments?
nothing. Nothing. Like if anybody has questions, you can post on the comment section. Hmm.
Great. So I think we can conclude it then, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Like one is asking. We know that constant layout is the flexible layout for responsive design. When we want to make a responsive design, what step we will be followed?
Okay, so if you have, let's say, various like you want to make it very responsive, right? Like you should keep going to this layout validation. You should see how each one will look like under particular conditions. For example, the rest of the views are fine, but what about this one? Pixel 3C, C, whatever. So this looks very weird to me, right? So in that case, you should take the traditional approach of having the either having two layouts, like two layout files for based on the screen density, or you can also do something like it will come under advanced topic, but look into placeholders. So if you have those, then you won't have to worry about this. Does that answer your question?
So basically, like if we have a kind of layout that used to show in a tablet, so we need to create a landscape mode for that, right?
No need. no need. That's what I'm saying. Like you can do
Hmm.
it, you can do it that way, but there is
Hmm.
also another way you can do that. Like you can have based it, do it solely on the basis of yeah, that like yeah. I mean, you'd have placeholders or something like that's how you would do it.
Okay. So like we have a condition in that Java file also for that.
Oh no, okay. So what will happen is not exactly something like this. So you might, yeah, mostly it would be an easier option to do the landscape, to create a separate main activity landscape file, but you can
Hmm.
also do it without that. You can,
Okay.
it depends mostly.
Okay.
I think
Well,
we yeah, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I'm also saying same.
Yeah, so let's conclude then. Thank you guys for joining. uh, have a nice day.
Yeah, thanks guys for joining. Like, if you like need to connect with me or Nina, you can like we have a like LinkedIn profile link or like coder link group link in the description. You can join that group or you can send us a message any query related to any Android development questions, so we can like take ahead on that. And thanks for joining us. Like, we will give a next talk on another topic. So like keep motivated us. Okay. Okay, buddy. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye all. Thank you so
Bye
much.
guys. Yeah.